Also, after it was reported that Trump called Charlie Kirk to ask him to tone down his criticism of the Epstein files, here's what Charlie Kirk had to say.
Honestly, I'm done talking about Epstein for the time being. I'm going to trust my friends in the administration. I'm going to trust my friends in the government to do what needs to be done, solve it, balls in their hands. I've said plenty this last weekend. So if you guys want to see my commentary on it, that's fine. Honestly,
Trump has been making boss calls. Trump has been making boss calls on this to be like, dude, shut the f up. Shut the f up about Epstein. Here's one man who is unbowed. Alex Jones. Does Israel have blackmail on Trump?
My integrity's king. We're 8-9 days into this whole Epstein attempted gaslighting by the DOJ cover-up exploding. It endangers the entire Trump administration and by extension America and Western civilization and by extension the entire world. I want Trump to succeed desperately. I support 95% of what Trump's doing. I think he's a great man. From all research, he's not connected to Epstein, any illegal activity.
He always says, look, I've done my research. Trump is not connected to Epstein in any way, but maybe he's being blackmailed by the Mossad. Who knows?
But all the 180s and all the flip-flopping that we've seen has blown this into a new level of Streisand effect. Now, yesterday, it came out in the corporate press that Ghislaine Maxwell in federal prison for human trafficking, Epstein's accomplice, known Mossad operative, in my as well, that she's ready to release the list, and she's brought her case to the Supreme Court and all the rest of this. Number one, I don't believe anything that comes out of her mouth. She is on record a human trafficker, and you don't take somebody that's in prison and then take what they have to say later. So yeah, I'm defending Trump right there. But you look at this headline, the deep state is attempting to blackmail Trump. It doesn't mean they've got something, but they have had control, like Trump said, the Democrats, of the file. They took out whatever they wanted and added whatever they wanted into it. So that's true. So a bunch of people are pissed off at me at one side saying, look, you're defending Trump when he said on Truth Social 2 days ago.
Dog, we listened to you yesterday. You quite literally said, oh, I never thought about this angle that the Clintons and the Democrats might have up the Epstein list. And now he's like, of course they did. Like yesterday he was like, oh, what a brilliant way to talk about this, Mr. President. I didn't even think about that. And now today's like, obviously it's an established fact that Obama the demon, polluted the Jeffrey Epstein list, the client list, with every Republican, including Donald Trump.
That they've had the file, just like Russiagate or anything. They falsify stuff, you can't believe it. That's a real issue.
Oh, okay. Obama, he smells like sulfur. I smelled him, folks.
They could have done that. I don't know they did that. I'm simply wargaming every angle of this. But then you look at all the bizarre behavior.
He's wargaming every angle. That's why he's glazing Trump, and he's finding a way to just like align with Trump on all of it.
Behavior of them raiding the FBI offices, the FBI raiding itself in March, getting all those documents and videos, them telling us there's 14 terabytes and hundreds of new victims and Epstein kids, and now Bondi's like, you know what? You just want to see child porn. You just want us to release child porn. Nobody ever said that. And, Trump at that press conference last Tuesday, you just asked a question about him working for an intelligence agency, Epstein. You're standing on the graves of dead kids. How dare you? I mean, this behavior, you couldn't make people think you were guilty more. Trump's enemies couldn't do something like this. So I'm godsmacked. I am dumbfounded at a certain level. But now that she's come out and done this, and you got Dershowitz saying, "Ooh, you better pardon her," and all the rest of this. But Dershowitz was like, "Release the file. I'm not in it." Well, okay. Well, I mean, what is in the file? How does Dershowitz know? I'm not saying Dershowitz is guilty. There's never been any evidence of that. I'm saying, how does he know the Democrats didn't add something to that? I mean, Adam Schiff had to get pardoned because in the J6 fake committee, he created fake emails and fake speeches and fake phone calls of Trump. Remember all that? The fake mafia calls? I mean, when I testified for the J6 committee, I said, you're not a real committee, you're criminals. And I take the fifth, not because I'm hiding something, but because you will claim I committed perjury and you're frauds. And I took the fifth 98 times. At the start and the middle, they kept saying, why don't you answer questions? I said, again, you're criminals, you're criminals, you're criminals, Liz Cheney, all of them. Notice they destroyed all the video of that because it's so embarrassing of me right in front of them to their faces telling them that. Now, you're never going to see that because they destroyed it, which is another crime. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know all the answers, exactly what's going on here. I just call balls and strikes, as I've said. But we've got a major, major issue here. And Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein were on record Mossad. So was her dad. You can look all this up. And so with the huge Israel lobby coming in right now, the Trump administration and all the rest of it, the Democrats have been basically defeated politically. Trump finally got rid of a bunch of them in the bureaucracy. But now Israel is sliding in with Netanyahu to try a hostile takeover of America. That's undoubted right now. And that's breaking everywhere. That's great news. Tucker Carlson and others exposing him. And I've never said Israel runs everything or is the worst thing in the world or, it's one monolithic thing. I'm not even against Israel's existence. But now Israel is trying to get us into a full war with Iran and by extension Russia and China. And Israel is exerting itself. You see all the signs. So now I'm like, yeah, Israel is making a move on America. China's been the main threat. But now Israel is so heavily engaged here that I've got to just say I'm a loyal American. And yeah, Israel's trying to move on America. So, and it's clear, all the evidence points towards Israel, Netanyahu using threats of what's in the file. Not that Trump did something, but he's been in reports the FBI put out. Something is there. And I told you over a week ago, I said, it's Trump, not Bondi, not Patel, not Bongino doing this. It's Trump. And Trump on Truth Social and now in statements have said, yeah, it's me. I want to move on. I want this shut down. So they are trying to blackmail Trump, and he's acting like they've got something.
Superman made everybody woke faster than expected. Trump didn't do anything, but he's being blackmailed. With what? With what? Is Israel blackmailing Trump? With what? What could you possibly even blackmail Trump with? I mean, we know Alex Jones will defend Trump, even if it came out that he was like children. So what could Israel have on Trump if he's blackmailing Trump? Like, the only thing I can think of is like blackmailing him with, footage of him having sex with a child, I think, right? So then maybe he is involved with Jeffrey Epstein. And that kind of undermines the first point that he made. I'm not saying this is the truth, by the way. I'm not saying that at all. I'm simply saying that Alex Jones's presentation here doesn't make sense. Like the logical system that he's trying to develop here, which is that Trump had no involvement with Jeffrey Epstein, but also simultaneously Mossad might be blackmailing Trump. I'm just wargaming. I'm wargaming out all the scenarios. If Israel is blackmailing Trump, what are they using to blackmail Trump with? A minor. That's the only thing that this could be, which means that maybe he was involved with Jeffrey Epstein. It doesn't make sense.
So I just have to be honest about it. And I'm going to play a clip here in a moment, or I'll post it here in the same post after this live feed, of Benny Johnson knocking out of the park today and saying, you better have press conferences. You better explain how the judicial and legislative and executive process works out. You better explain how investigations work. You better explain that the files are with the prosecution in New York where Epstein died. You better explain that you recommend cases, you don't run cases. He's absolutely right. What Benny Johnson said is true. And then what Glenn Beck said, he said, listen, we can't lose our soul over this. Yeah, we get Trump's doing a lot of good, but we know this is all there. We know that there was blackmail. We know there were intelligence agencies. We know this video of him from around the corner doesn't show that he didn't kill himself. We know this, so you're insulting our intelligence. And then to imply we want child porn released, as Bonnie and others have done, is just totally outrageous. So that's where I am on this right now. And I'll play the Beck clip, or post a Beck clip here as well. But then you've got Charlie Kirk, who I think is a great guy and so much to get Republican voters on. I love him. He's like, I trust Trump. I trust the administration. I'm not asking any more questions. And I'm not talking about Epstein anymore. Well, that's the message I reported last week. The Carl Seraphin, I got reports myself from people, but he also had his reports and some public reports of major talk show hosts, influencers getting calls saying your access can be cut off at the White House, Susie Wall stuff, if you don't stop, and the FBI calling people. Well, that's a cover-up. So we don't want to be aiding the Democrats here, but we're not in a cult like Democrats that go along with corruption. So here's Benny Johnson. I'll post it in this, under it. Here is Beck. Benny Johnson keeping his soul, Beck keeping his soul. And I'm not saying Charlie Kirk's losing his soul here, but I'm not going to question my friends. I mean, if my wife didn't show up for 2 days and just showed back up at the house, I'd say, where you been? If I had a business partner I'd known for 20 years, a great person, all of a sudden a bunch of money's messing up, I'd say, you know where the money is. I mean, when people start telling you don't ask questions, you got a problem. Remember all the New York Times articles and Washington Post articles? Asking questions is bad. Doing your own research is bad. No, it's good. So I don't want to be focused on this. But everything Trump and them have done the last few months with Bongino and them, like during the headlights on that Fox interview, has triggered all this. And I said, like, if you want it to go away or you don't think you can prosecute people or it's a national security issue, I'm not defending that, but I understand that. Just shut up. Shut up. Instead, Trump, hey, I've done a great job. Truth Social, leave it alone, drop it. They're going to have congressional hearings now. They're coming after you. I've never seen such a self-inflicted wound. So Benny Johnson nails it. Glenn Beck nails it. And Charlie Kirk, I'm just not going to question my friends. And I understand that thought process. I don't agree with it, but hey, Trump's doing so much good. We've seen him try to.
Alex Jones trying to desperately defend Trump while simultaneously imply that he probably children, and therefore under like Mossad supervision is so funny because you're basically saying the worst thing about Donald Trump. You're taking the long road into saying Donald Trump is involved with Jeffrey Epstein. Like, you're trying to say he's not involved with Jeffrey Epstein and then literally saying he was absolutely involved with Jeffrey Epstein. This makes no sense. How can you arrive at this position where you're like supposed to be the moral compass, the North Star of leading conservative conspiracy theorists, and you have this approach to the subject matter where you keep saying Jeffrey Epstein is not involved with Donald Trump in any way, except for the fact that the Mossad might have captured Trump on video and has blackmail on him, which is causing this kind of division to take place. What is this? Don Winslow. Dear Attorney General Pam Bondi, FBI Director Cash, and Dan Bongino, I want to introduce you to yourselves. MAGA is watching. God is watching you. Hashtag Epstein cover up.
Please do not let that story go.
Who has Jeffrey Epstein's
Black Book?
Black Book?
FBI.
But who? That is I mean, there's.
Oh, that's under direct control of the director of the FBI.
What the hell are the House Republicans doing? They have the majority. You can't get the list? Put on your big boy pants and let us know who the are.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know it. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would.
This isn't about Epstein or 9/11 or JFK or RFK. It is, but it isn't. It's about a bigger thing. If you're lying about that, you're lying about everything. Who's on the Epstein tapes, folks? Who's on those tapes? Who's in?
Yeah, it turns out we looked at the tapes and we didn't like who was on it. Actually, no one's on the Epstein tapes. They don't exist. Excuse me. You're a freak. You're a freak for even assuming that. You're a freak for wanting to know who was on the Epstein list. Okay, you must want to look at CSAM.
Those black books. Why have they been hiding it?
And this is something Donald Trump has talked about. The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump.
Everything's going to come out to the public. The public has a right to know. Americans have a right to know.
Ghislaine Maxwell is going to get out of jail if the Epstein files don't exist. She shouldn't be in jail. She's going to get another trial. No, the answer to that is that Ghislaine was helping traffic people just for Jeffrey Epstein alone. That's what they will claim. This was so crazy. This was such a crazy moment. Remember this interview was such a banger, dude. It's one of my favorite interviews of all time of Donald Trump, the Axios one.
A reporter asked you about Ghislaine Maxwell. You said, quote, I just wish her well, frankly. I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, but I wish her well, whatever it is. Mr. President, Ghislaine Maxwell has been arrested on allegations of child trafficking. Why would you wish such a person well?
I don't know that, but I do know that.
She has. She's been arrested for that.
Her
you know that.
friend or boyfriend,
Epstein,
was either killed or committed in jail. She's now in jail.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I wish her well. I'd wish you well. I'd wish...
Her friend is in jail and then commits. Her boyfriend is so sad. It's so sad. Who wouldn't feel sad about that? Bro, wait, hold up. We got to run it back. Dude, listen to
allegations of child trafficking. Why would you wish such a person well?
I don't know that, but I do know that...
She has. She's been arrested for that.
Her
you know that.
friend or boyfriend...
Epstein.
...was either killed or committed in jail. She's now...
By the way, this was under his watch. He says either killed or committed in jail. Your jail. It was a federal prison. At this point, he was still president, and it had happened not that long before this interview was conducted. It happened under his watch.
In jail. Yeah, I wish you well. I'd wish you well. I'd wish a lot of people well. Good luck. Let them prove somebody was guilty. I mean, do you know that?
Oh, so you're saying you hope she doesn't die in jail? Is that what you mean by wish her well?
Her boyfriend died in jail, and people are still trying to figure out, how did it happen? Was he killed? And I do wish her well. I'm not looking for anything bad for her. I'm not looking bad for anybody. And they took that and
I mean, she's a alleged child sex trafficker.
Big deal. But all it is.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It's so good. It's so good. Trump, when there's a random like construction worker that has maybe a little bit too much melanin, killed a person. He's a MS-13 gang member. They're barbaric. They're brutal. Every single person that's Mexican has actually every white woman in America. Trump, when it's an international trafficker, possibly a member of the intelligence community, I wish her well. She was such a darling. She's such a great cocktail guest. I love it. I love her. I think she's so beautiful, and so is Jeffrey Epstein. What a guy. What a guy. What a guy. I wish her well. I wish him well. I wish everybody well. We don't know if she's guilty or innocent.
Her boyfriend died. He died in jail. Was he killed? Was it? I wish her well.
One of the best interviews ever conducted, straight up.